Hi, nice to see you again. Today we are at the beach, and I'm going to be talking to you about a poem, Toads, by Larkin. And it's one I like very much, and paying attention to the juxtaposition this time. There are going to be two toads, a warning. And sometimes poets will construct things where they compare stuff. They'll put two things against each other, and that will create the tension that'll serve as what's going to, the guiding line. So let's look at toads. Why should I let the toad work, squat on my life? Can't I use my wit as a pitchfork and drive the brood off? 6 days of the week it soils with its sickening poison, just for paying a few bills. That's out of proportion. Lots of folks live on their wits. Lecturers, lispers, lossels, loblolly men, louts. They don't end as paupers. Lots of folk live up in lanes, with fires in a bucket, eat windfalls and tin sardines. They seem to like it. Their nippers have got bare feet. Their unspeakable wives are skinny as whippets. And yet, no one actually starves. Were I courageous enough to shout, "Stuff your pension!" But I know all too well that's the stuff dreams are made on. For something sufficiently toad-like squats in me, too. Its hunkers are heavy as hard luck and cold as snow, and will never allow me to blarney my way to getting the fame and the girl and the money all at one sitting. I don't say. One body's the other, one spiritual truth. But I do say it's hard to lose either when you have both. Okay, so, the first toad. Why should I let the toad work, squat on my life? Now that's the beginning of the poem, so we're always looking for the premise. So he's setting up this toad of work, squatting on his life as sort of the guiding metaphor. We've got work, squatting on your life. Doesn't it ever feel like you have work just squatting on you? I think that's an apt description. A lot of the time I feel like those piles of papers never end. They just keep coming and they're squatting and they push me down. That's the first toad. And I want to use my wit as a pitchfork and drive the brood off. I want to get rid of it. But we don't see that it's going to happen. 6 days of the week it soils with its sickening poison. Is this work a positive thing? Sometimes all that homework you get, those piles and piles of things, and all the stuff your mom's making you do, your chores, your lists, sometimes it just feels like a lot, just for paying a few bills. I hate to break it to you, it doesn't get better. That's what it's saying here. Just for paying a few bills. You're going to be working a lot for the rest of your life just to pay a few bills. And then he contrasts it. Lots of folks, oh, this is not me anymore. Lots of folks, so other people, live on their wits. Lecturers, lispers, lossels, loblolly men, louts. They don't end up as paupers. So there are these different kinds of people who just they live on their wits, but they're scoundrels. So some people manage to scoundrel their way out of this work. And then, lots of folks, so repetition of lots of folks, this is not us. For him, why should I let the toad work, squat on my life? So he's got toad, the speaker does. These other people, lots of folks. Don't we always say that? Lots of folks. They're out there partying, they're out there doing this. They're doing all these things I want to be doing. Lots of folks live up in lanes with fires in a bucket, eat windfalls and tin sardines, and they seem to like it. So these other people, they don't live a proper life. They're eating sardines out of a bucket, but they seem to like it. Their nippers, their kids, have got bare feet. They're unspeakable wives. Oh, these wives are not proper. These are not proper people. Skinny as whippets, and yet no one actually starves. And starves is in italics. No one's starving. You can actually survive without the money and all of that. Were I courageous enough to shout, "Stuff your pension." So stuff your pension seems to be the dividing line. A pension is the money that it's how he would live on past retirement, his security. I wish I could shout, "Stuff your pension, stuff your stupid schools." But I know all too well that's the stuff dreams are made on. Are you actually going to drop out of school? Probably not. For something sufficiently toad-like squats in me too. Okay, second toad, and before it was squats on me, on top of me, it pushes me down, but now it's in me. On, in, those prepositions, a lot of it's coming down to prepositions. Pay attention to ins, ons, because it matters. This one is inside. Sometimes things press down from the outside. Sometimes they're just so much in us. Its hunkers are heavy as hard luck. Its haunches are heavy as hard luck. Cold as snow. It's just in me. It's heavy and cold. And will never allow me to blarney my way to getting the fame and the girl and the money all at one sitting. I'm not going to be able to talk my way out of this. Blarney, to chat, to manipulate. I don't say one body's the other, one spiritual truth. Not saying that. But I do say it's hard to lose either when you have both. So, what's he saying? At the end, we get the key that unlocks the poem. A lot of the time, at the beginning, it sets us up. When we get to the premise, this is something about toads. At the end, we get it's hard to lose either when you have both. If you have that work ethic, can you get rid of the one inside you? If you have both of them, you get that work ethic on top of you, and something inside you too. It squats in you. It's that need to do what you're supposed to do. That all of that stuff inside, and I don't think that Philip Larkin is saying too much. He's not talking about like how he's talking about how terrible it is, but he's not encouraging you to dump either. He's not saying run for the hills. He's not saying quit your job. He's just saying this is kind of what it is. If you are a hard-working type, that's just your life. That's these toads. And I like his use of toads. Maybe not the most glamorous creatures, but I think they're adorable. Not so bad. And that's kind of what he's saying with the poem Toads. Good luck. Have fun, and I will see you for our next poem. Bye.